Do you get it that whatever you're focused upon, you are adding momentum to? Do you get it that you can find resonance with unwanted things, and that's what momentum is?
Yeah, I get that.
Do you get it that when you find resonance with unwanted things, you are not resonance with wanted things, and that's why you feel negative emotion? Isn't it lovely to have a guidance system that's letting you know incrementally what you're doing so that you can just start fresh today, do your best? Esther said to us, Abraham, I refuse to accept that I have to wait clear until tomorrow to get positive momentum going again. Just because the train left the rails, does that really mean that I have to go through a whole day and then go to sleep? We said you could meditate. Meditate is helpful because when you meditate, you quiet your mind. That stops momentum. Or you could find something that's always easy for you to feel good about and focus on that. You could pet your cat or your dog. There are things that you can go to that every time you go to them mentally, you find relief or absence of resistance in them. You don't have to wait until tomorrow. We're just suggesting that if you do it every morning, and then as you do it, then you become more aware of when you're doing it and when you're not doing it, when you do it on purpose. And you know what the best thing about doing something on purpose is? The best thing about deliberately lining up with who you really are, the best thing about identifying a desire and focusing on it and feeling good feeling emotions flowing through you while you focus upon it, the best thing about that is that as the revelations and realizations begin happening in your life, and they will, you'll recognize your part in them. That's the best part of becoming a conscious, deliberate creator, is that you'll recall, oh yeah, I remember I did a focus wheel about that. I got myself feeling really good about that. I know I left my resistance behind about that. And now here's evidence of the shift in my vibration. You all are in such a good position because you have this platform of well-being that you stand on. And you have absolute free will to focus, freedom beyond description. And you have source energy already knowing everything that you've asked for and all that you want all queued up for you. And you have an emotional guidance system within you to let you know in every moment how you're doing. And you have this keen awareness that gets to recognize all the motion that you are making. In other words, talk about a creative experience. As sculptors, you never take a big glob of clay and just throw it down on the table and then say, oh, I thought it would turn out better than that. You want to get your hands in it. You want to convey to the medium your idea of how you would like it to look. And so this is an exercise of positive creativity. You're not here being challenged or tested. You're here with every resource imaginable. And when we say that, we could not mean it more. Every resource imaginable there for you to focus toward what matters to you. So when you focus and you just feel sort of good, and you acknowledge, I just feel sort of good, and then you stay focused on it a little longer until you really feel your juices begin to flow, and then you're really feeling your juices begin to flow until you actually are finding yourself feeling excited about the idea of it, and then manifestations start happening to help you to realize it even further. You begin to feel exactly as you are, like the most blessed being in all of the universe, with all of these resources flowing to you and through you. But you've got to adjust to the stream of the resources. If you summon more than you're up to speed with, it's a little jerky. If you summon more than you allow, you have a really rough ride. If you don't summon as much as you're up to speed with, you feel lethargy and boredom. In other words, you're the one that gets to decide how it is, and you get to decide it not just every morning, you get to decide it all day, every day. You get to decide it in every encounter that you have with every person. You get to decide it in every thought that wafts into your consciousness. You get to decide. We're watching Esther now, and she's discovering a thought will begin to just waft into her consciousness, and she will contemplate the thought and acknowledge, is this a thought that I want to increase momentum on or decrease momentum on? And just like that, she's able to change the subject in her own mind. This is a new understanding. This is law of attraction at its most advanced understanding, you see.
That's helpful, because that was going to be the next tidbit, is when I'm interacting with people that are on lower flying discs and they throw a dart at me because they don't agree with where my stance is, and there's that divided
here's the thing about that. You get what he just said, don't you? So the other day, Esther had a thought. She really pushes my buttons, Esther thought. And then Esther had this very clear thought, standing there's a great big old button out there. Push it, go ahead, push it, just push it. I dare you, push it, push it. Sure enough. So anyone, first of all, you get what he's talking about, the lower flying disc. We've been talking about get on your high flying disc, then there's the Henri disc and so on. It's like the seven dwarves. So when you accept that everything that comes into your experience is because there is somewhat of an active vibration about it within you, or it wouldn't come. Now, at first this is a little hard for you to accept, but once you accept it, then you feel kinder toward the button pushers, because you realize you put the button out there for them to push. And the good news about that is, until you had this encounter, maybe in this moment on this day, you didn't realize that button was so active. And so, but now people have started pushing it. Don't you find that? Don't you have sort of days that seem to follow a theme? Aren't there just days that follow a theme? You didn't realize you had that theme button out there, but so many people just walked in and said, oh, boom, oh, boom, oh, boom. Until you say, is everybody going to do that? And we say, until you remove that button and replace it with something that you would rather that they pushed, you see. So Esther had, you ready for this? Leading edge creators, at her on the leading edge, understanding law of attraction. You are. Can you feel the advancement in the understanding of law of attraction in this conversation? So Esther has been doing a process. In fact, she's putting together some booklets to make available for you in case you want to follow her morning ritual. She's been doing it for a while and loving the experience of it. So the process, at one point, she comes to this place where she takes 12 people that she's likely to interact with today and calls them her dominant co-creative partners. And it's a range of different people. Some that she works with, some that she's family with, some that she's friends with, some that she's likely to run into in a professional way in some way today because there's a meeting. So she just lists the top 12 for today, and then she began just sitting to make a list of positive aspects. And what she began to notice, she was writing things because her reason for wanting to write these positive aspects is because she's wanting to tune herself to the best of them. Makes sense, doesn't it? So she's finding herself writing things like steady, hard worker, efficient, effective. She did this for a week, and then for another week, different people. And then she had a thought one morning. It sort of just wafted in from her vortex, and she realized she wants to put fun. She wants to put understands their worthiness. She wants to put experiences unconditional love. And it made her realize that she was, with all of her well-intentioned process, she was actually evoking from them some of the very things that she doesn't want to be evoked from her. In other words, are you following this a little bit? Yes, it's virtuous to be hardworking and diligent and all of that. But aren't we talking about something different here? Aren't we talking about allowing the well-being that is you? In other words, and then Esther thought, as an employer, of course she's wanting that from people who are working with her. But are those the most important things that she's wanting from them, or are they far down on the list? Are they things that are being offered anyway? What is it that Esther wants to evoke from those with whom she is interacting? And this came on the heels of a conversation that we've been having about unconditional love, about how you look out into the world and you notice a condition, let's say a good one, and then you have a good feeling response to that condition. And so, because you like to feel good, now you look out into the world for other good feeling conditions. And sometimes as you look out there for those conditions, you find a not good feeling condition. And now it feels to you like the condition needs to change so that you can feel good. And we say, isn't that the perfect definition of conditional love? And so we've been talking about what you are wanting to do is create an atmosphere, a vibrational atmosphere or climate or environment around you, so that you are offering a vibration, so that you're setting up your buttons that will be pushed by those who are coming into contact with you. You're wanting a vibrational environment, and you want to be responding to life from that, not from the conditions that are out there. Are you following us just a little bit? So when something occurs in your life experience, a good question, Esther's been asking it a lot of herself recently. All right, am I responding to a condition that's out there over which I have no control? Or am I responding to the climate that I have been practicing? And so now, you're with us, aren't you? So now, Esther's writing her list of positive aspects of people that she cares about, and realizing that she is actually placing conditions upon them. She thought, this is how we all got trained that way. This is how we got trained away from our own guidance into jumping through hoops for others. They gave us rewards for being diligent. They gave us rewards for showing up on time. In what case did anybody give you an award for having the most fun? When did they give you the award for coming in unconditional love? I know that you're here in unconditional love, but did you get anything done today? And so there's a sort of reorienting that you're wanting to do with those that you care about, you see. We know that this was way out here on the leading edge, but it is so core to every relationship that you have, because when people are yanking your chain or pushing your buttons, or they seem to be on a lower flying disc and you're responding to them, and you say, oh boy, my life would be so much better without you, or if you were different in this way or in this way or in this way. And we say, this is what's going on in your world. You're saying, you all need to be different than you are in order for us to feel good. And so we will put these restraints or these controls upon you, when what everyone has to understand is that you equal your own point of attraction, and there are not going to be enough laws or enough jails or enough bombs or enough influence, enough controlling of conditions for you to live the happy life that you want to live. It's an inside job, you see. So you get up in the morning, you reach for the thought, and you practice it until you've really got it, and before you know it, you're moving through your world, and all good things are coming to you, and others are looking at you, and they're saying things to you like, I don't know why, but I feel my very best when I'm around you. They're saying things to you like, you bring the very best out of me. I'm more brilliant when I'm with you than at any other time. I'm more funny when I'm with you than at any other time. I feel the very best when I'm with you than at any other time. Don't you want to elicit that from your mates and from your children and from your coworkers and from strangers on the street? Isn't that who you are? Isn't your point of attraction everything? And is their point of attraction any of your business at all? And is the way they behave, is it up to them to change their behavior so that you can feel good about their behavior? Or is it up to you to change the way you look in general, so that you're sifting and sorting and seeing that which is a vibrational match to what's active within you? These are the secrets of the universe, friends. This is living life in the way that you have intended.
Thank you.